if you can't be real with people and you never have anything worth that has some depth to it, some like real world problem to it, then it's like you're not who we want to talk to.
I just love the friends who are like, you can bitch about it if you need to, like get it off your chest. I'm like, thank you.
And the way a girl's gonna interact with a guy is gonna be totally different than the way she's gonna interact with a girl.
Because if we hear something that insults us, a guy would hear that and be like, you found that insulting? How? Question, do you notice that your skin got worse when Harrison started sleeping next to you?
Oh, that's a really, really interesting question.
Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod. How are you?
I am great. I feel like we should do a nail update because we were talking about our nails last week and now we have them done. We know the color that we each have, but let's see the burgundy.
We're red girls.
Beautiful.
I love red on your nails. I can't believe this is the first time you've done it.
It was the lady doing somebody's nails. She had red and I was like, there I go. Like I had picked my color. I had picked my navy blue and I saw her nails and I was like, I want that. So I asked the guy, I said, can I swap? And he said, yes. And can I tell you why I did it? Because I went to get my nails done like 2 months ago and I learned my lesson where she started doing my first nail and I didn't like the way the nail color was looking and I didn't say anything. And I should have said something and I should have swapped. And I was so mad at myself. Like it was nobody's fault but my own. And it was like, I need to speak up. Like, I don't know why I didn't. And then I just sat there the whole time thinking, I don't like this color.
Honestly, though, I do that all the time and I try to be better at it about just like speaking up, especially when it has to do with yourself. Like even when you're getting a haircut and they're like, how do you want it cut? I'm like, I don't care. You pick. I'm like, no, Jordan, like this is your head of hair. Pick. But with the nails, oh my gosh, I wish I could speak up and be like, actually, I want this shape, or can you file it a little more, or actually, I don't like it this color. Like, why is that so hard for us?
Pookie made a TikTok and she was like, put a finger down if you were getting your nails done and they were doing a color and you didn't like it, but you were too afraid to say anything. So you went home and you went back the next day to a different nail salon, had them removed and got the color you wanted. And I was like, that is so relatable. Like, we're paying them. Why won't we just say, I don't like the color, but I won't do it. Oh, I will just sit there and I'll be like mad. And it's like the only person I'd be mad at is me. And I'm like mad.
I'm very grateful that my nail salon now, after she paints one finger, she always asks, do you like this color? And I'm grateful, but I don't even think I would say no, even if I didn't like it.
Like, what? Like, and neither would I. And it's like, why?
I don't want to inconvenience you, even though it's like your job. And like, I know that they want us to leave happy because that's how they get business, word of mouth. So I don't know why we don't.
I know, and they'll be like so nice about it. But speaking of colors, let's talk about your beautiful color you've got today, the blue.
Weren't you going to get this color blue? Is this slate blue?
That was the goal. Yeah, I was going to get like that color. I was going to match that Monster.
So you guys, Monster just came out with a new flavor and it's Ultra Blue Hawaiian. I'm so excited to try. I have not had a sip of this flavor yet. I'm saving it for you guys. But I feel like Monster's has been coming out with flavors left and right. They just came out with their guava one. I mean, maybe that was like 4 months ago, but still, I'm like, you guys are just popping these flavors out.
Yum. Okay, give us a taste test.
Oh wait, that's really good. That is, I'm trying to figure out like the flavor notes. Let me have another sip.
Okay, yeah, tell us about it.
Okay. It has a hint of pineapple. And also, like orange, like it's almost like a pineapple orange juice.
Ooh, yum. Pineapple sounds so good.
It's so good. I thought it was going to be a blue raspberry just because of the color and it being blue Hawaiian. But it reminds me of a drink you would have in Hawaii. It's like that tropical strawberry orange juice or pineapple orange juice. I'm a big fan. I remember this is bringing me back to when I was a kid and I would drink pineapple orange juice. Oh, this is good.
It's the best combo ever, pineapple and orange juice. It's perfect because we're trending towards the summer months too. So it's like,
Yeah, also apparently there's like a winter storm watch in New York. So this Monster's going to make me feel like I'm in Hawaii.
Good. Enjoy that. Enjoy every sip. I'm jealous. Yum. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. What's been going on with your life? Anything new? Roses and thorns? Actually, let's do we do thorns first? I always forget. What's better?
Let's do Yeah, because one of mine is about our girl Blake Lively, which I know kind of goes into our catch up. So I'll do that one last.
Okay. So do you want me to do my thorn first then?
Yeah, do your thorn.
Okay, so I realized, and I think this stems from me having a little bit of social anxiety and just being socially awkward, which I'm knowing is coming with age. And I think it's coming because of COVID, because I don't remember being like this pre-COVID. But since COVID, I noticed that sometimes I get in my head too much and I just get awkward with people and I don't feel like I'm communicating like myself. Like, do you ever talk to someone and you're like, that's not me? Who's this person presenting themselves right now?
All the time.
So
all the time.
I realized when I'm in even numbers, I get more like that. And I don't know if it's because I feel like it's more of an interview or what, but I realize I don't really love double dates when it's an even number, or even just, I guess I don't really care if it's friends, because like my friends I'm comfortable with, but I like when it's a double date, when it's an even number, like 2 and 2, I feel like it's awkward and so interviewy. And I'm realizing if I were to hang out with couples, I want it to be like a larger number. And if I'm hanging out with friends, I want it to be an odd number, because there's also nothing worse than when it's like, let's say it's you and Harrison and another couple and you just met them, and like Harrison and the husband are in like a deep conversation. So you're forced to just talk to the girl and you're like, how long am I going to just have to talk to her? Because I'm so awkward right now.
It is like, and then I will divide half of my brain and listen to the boys to see when they take a break so we can interject and all get back to the four of us. Like, and I'll be exhausted afterwards. So I'm not fully focused on her. I'm like trying to listen to them. It is the worst thing on the planet.
And you're like kind of listening in the sense of like, how can I jump in to their conversation and bring it all back around? Because that's been happening to me a lot lately, where I'm like, I don't like this one-on-one conversation. There's a group next to me. I want to be like in the group, where I just want to be a bystander and listener, because being the person who has to force the conversation, just the social anxiety just eats me alive. And like you said, I'm just exhausted.
So, you know how you said you think it started happening after COVID?
Yeah.
I was listening to this episode of, it was Mel Robbins, and she had some like Harvard psychiatrist on, who was saying in the middle of COVID, everyone kept saying, we just have to get through this, and then it's going to be the roaring 20s. We're all going to be back. And she knew. She was like, no, because what we're going through is a mass amount of trauma. So she calls it the bridge theory. So like, we're all a bridge and we're trying to hold it together during COVID. And what happens on the other side, and this is what I felt like with, I would say with my divorce, is actually like why I was listening to it. You try to hold it together during the time, right? So you become a bridge. And then once it's over, it's when the floodgates open and the dam opens up and all the feelings come flushing out. So she paralleled it to somebody that gets a cancer diagnosis. When they're in the middle of it, they come in and they're like, I'm fine. Like, I'm doing it. I'm going through it. And the moment they like ring the bell or something, that's when all the emotions come out, because you're not in fight or flight mode anymore. You're not in get through it mode anymore. You're on the other side, and like your senses start to lower and all these feelings come rushing out. And like, we're still feeling the aftermath of that now. So like, people are hyper anxious and like small tasks feel big. And she said 1 in every 3 people feel it. So if you're in like a room of 20 people, you're not the only one feeling that way. Like, most people are feeling that way. Isn't that crazy? Guys, let's talk about Rocket Money, because it's February. It's only the 2nd month of the year, and it is the perfect time to get your finances in order. And the best way to do that is to set your goals and prioritize what matters most, which is your financial wellness. But you know what can get in the way of that? You sign up for something, you forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not even using them. In fact, I just learned that 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. Thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all your subscriptions in one place and cancel ones that you're not using anymore. And now you can be like Jordyn and I and save money. J-Dub, didn't you just use this?
I did. And I'm so glad I did, because I'm that person where I like to watch a lot of TV and movies, and I'll just like click. It doesn't matter if it's like subscribe for a few days, get this subscription for free, and then I'll start charging you. So I had so many random streaming services that I didn't even know about that I was paying for every month. I also had some like these like other financial apps that I was like spending a few dollars on a month for a membership I didn't know about. So when I did it, I saved like $50 every month.
That's
from
incredible.
Yeah.
It's free money in your pocket, you guys. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/meangirl today. That's rocketmoney.com/meangirl. rocketmoney.com/meangirl.
Yeah, actually, I mean, it makes me feel a lot better knowing that I'm not the only one. But it's so true because pre-COVID, I was like in college where you're forced to be social. And then I joined a corporate career where you're in the office every day. You're forced to be social. I was in sales where I was literally talking to strangers on the phone every single day. And then all of a sudden we get into COVID and then our careers turn into, we do social media, but like we're talking just to each other or to our phones, where I kind of lost that ease of small talk. And it's just, when I meet new people, I'm like, sometimes I'm fine. Like sometimes I'm like, whatever, I can get through. But there's just some times where I talk and I'm like, this is not me talking. I don't know what's happening right now. And then I start to get in my head and I'm like, I'm so uncomfortable. I need to go home.
I'm like actually really glad you brought this up because I feel this too. Like I feel this exactly what you're describing to a T. And I've never thought about how when the floodgates had opened, we also had become like, I don't know, content creators, so to speak. Okay. So like our relationships with like our best friends from college, right? Like they knew us as people, but now we were putting like more out online about our lives, what they're like getting to watch, which is like a really fun thing. But it also was this like added layer of anxiety that we had. And so we were just like talking to our phones, putting that out there. But then you still have to have like interpersonal real relationships. And I think that probably caused us a lot of underlying anxiety, like a pressure too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I just sometimes like, if you look through all of your friends and you go through and you're like, okay, this person we can sit in silence and be comfortable. This person, I don't worry about it too much because maybe they always bring the conversation. This person, I would not want to actually just hang out with them one-on-one. And it's just, I don't think I ever thought of that pre-COVID.
No, but I think that like from what I was listening to, you're like head on that COVID, it was the problem. Like it just redirected everything. And we were in this like height, like we didn't know if it was going to be 2 weeks or, and it's that trend going on online right now. It's like, I don't know the difference between getting a text from my friend or a grizzly bear chasing me. It's like, that's our bodies are that everyone's bodies in that fight or flight mode constantly.
Yeah. So I realized, I think, not that dates can ever be an odd number because like it's you and your significant other, but I realized I love hanging out in groups of odd numbers because, especially threes, because you can't ever just have a one-on-one conversation with that like one person in the group. Everyone has to be involved. And I'm like, I love that. That's great for me.
I didn't know if you meant like 3 couples. Like, I didn't know if you meant odd numbers of couples, but you mean odd numbers of people.
Because I would prefer, I think with couples, 3 couples would be fine. Because when you get in a group of 6, the conversations, no one's going to have like one-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one. It's going to be some type of mix. So I think that's fine. But with friends, same thing. Yeah, I guess as long as it's just not 4. 4 is just where I draw the line. I don't like it. 2 and 4.
No. I totally hear you. And I saw that you had put that in. And so the one that I had put in is like my current situation is I think it's harder to couple date than date. So as couples going out and going on couple dates with people, trying to find couples where like the girls and the guys both get along with the girls and the guys. And of course you're going to get along with them, but like have enough to talk about and like hit it off with 4 people as opposed to just 2, I think is really... It's tricky.
Especially if like, let's say like you go on a date with one of your friends that you know really, really well, but you guys don't know anything about the guy, then it's just like an odd balance of, well, you can't ask the girl all these questions because you and Harrison already know the girl. So it's like, is it going to be an interview with the guy, or is he going to be asking all the questions? It's too much. I don't like double dates anymore, or small one-on-one hangouts.
Can you predict like who Pete will like? So, for example, if you're going on a date with one of your friends and she's got a boyfriend and you've met the boyfriend, are you head on when you say, Pete, I think you're going to like him, or I don't know if you guys are going to get along? Is it usually accurate or not accurate?
Yeah.
Your prediction.
It's usually very accurate because I am pretty picky with the guys my friends date. I'm very lucky where my friends are now dating good guys, but I remember in the past, because Pete's never met a guy that I don't like that my friends are dating, but I remember in the past just being like, to my like ex-boyfriend, like, you're not going to like this guy because I don't like this guy. He's just a loser. Because usually if I like him, like my boyfriend likes him type of thing.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Are you guys you and Harrison pretty aligned?
Pretty aligned, but it is interesting because what I've found is early on when we started dating, like I would say, okay, I think you're really going to get along with this guy. And that's not actually a good example. It would more so be, that's not my point, because he always got along with the guys. What it more so is he would paint this picture of like one of his girlfriends or one of his friends' girlfriends or something like that. And what I always found funny was I would be like, you painted the totally wrong picture. Like what he got from her, I'd be like, wait, that's so different than what I got. Which I think is like a funny dynamic of like differences in reading people.
Oh, yeah. And just like the difference between like a boy brain and a girl brain. Because I feel like when we first meet someone, boys and girls look at like their first impressions differ so much in like what they base. Because if we hear something that insults us, a guy would hear that and be like, you found that insulting? How? We just think so differently.
And the way a girl's going to interact with a guy is going to be totally different than the way she's going to interact with a girl.
Yeah.
So it's like what he's going to perceive, he could be like, oh, she's so funny. And then like we go and I'm like, well, she's not going to maybe be cracking jokes to me. But and the same thing applies to like you and I. Like when we interact with like the guy's friends, it could be different than if they brought their girlfriend. Like there's so many different dynamics at play.
1,000%. And just like interests. Like let's say one of the girls is super quiet and the boys meet her and they're like, well, she's just really quiet. But then a girl meets her and she's like, I love to read. I'd be like, I love this girl. We could just sit and talk about books. But Pete might be like, what?
Yeah, Pete might be like, oh, I didn't know that she like talked a lot. But it's like you just didn't have the same interest with her.
Yeah. It's so interesting. Should we go?
Okay, what's your rose?
Do you want to do your rose, then I'll do my rose? And then you'll do your thorn last?
Well, yeah. The only thing I have left is the Blake Lively thing because mine was the couple date. Mine was mine was like I think the take was I think it's harder to find couples to go on dates with than it is to like date in real life. Like to find your significant other, I think it's harder to find couples that you all get along with.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I didn't see that. It's a couple dating. Okay, so that was your thorn. So yeah, couple dates are out in 2025. Okay, so my rose is that Pete and I are in our new apartment and it is noise free from all the construction and I could not be more happy about it.
It is beautiful. But I feel like everyone like why did you decide to do the furnish? Like I feel like that's the number one question, which I love the furniture. I love that you did that.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I am so happy with the apartment. It's definitely the most spacious apartment I've lived in, which I'm so grateful for because living in a one bedroom with two people, let me tell you, you're on top of each other. And I also didn't even see this apartment before we signed. It was one of those things in New York where it goes so fast. So they're like, so what happened is we decided to go fully furnished because we are at this point where we don't like any of our furniture. It is all furniture that Pete's had from college. We've gotten from Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, and over the years moving in New York, it has been so expensive. I've been very grateful where I've been able to work with moving companies and come up with like a partnership where I don't have to pay the full rate. But I remember 2 years ago when I moved, they were going to charge me $4,000 to move 2 miles. That is insane.
No, it's insane. Like, so I know why everyone's asking you, but having moved in New York, like, I don't blame you. Your furniture has to be worth like 4 or 5 times more than the moving cost to make it worth it. Otherwise, like, it's not worth it.
This girl commented on my video and she was like, "You're lying. I moved in," I think she was in Queens. She was like, I think it was like Washington Heights. I can't remember exactly where. And it was only $500 and I went 12 miles. I was like, girl, there is such a big difference between moving in Manhattan and moving right outside of Manhattan, because there's something, as soon as you're in the zip codes of Manhattan, they will charge you thousands and thousands of dollars, especially if you live in a walk-up, which I lived in a 5-story walk-up, and that racked up the rate to be like $1,500 more dollars.
Ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat in just 2 minutes, so you can fuel yourself the right way and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared for any active, busy lifestyle. Lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals. Based on a randomized, controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto, results will vary depending on your diet and your exercise. Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. You guys, Jordyn and I both got Factor meals delivered to us. We've been doing this for years, actually. And you just pop them in the microwave, heat them up in the oven however you want, and it is the easiest thing on the planet, and the meals are so good. So you guys, eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/mean50off. And use code MEAN50OFF to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code MEAN50OFF, MEAN50OFF, at factormeals.com/MEAN50OFF to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. For me to move, when I lived in West Village to Tribeca, I also did, I think, like I did the brand deal as well. But what it would have cost, I remember, was $5,500. When I moved, but like obviously with the brand deal, it cut it down a ton. When I moved out of Tribeca to Austin, it was like $7,000 or $8,000, and I moved 24-hour drives away, and it was like, that's how expensive it is to move in Manhattan. And I moved like 5 blocks away.
I was like, you went from moving a mile to moving over 1,000 miles, and the price is almost the exact same. Is that crazy?
Yeah. It's insane. It's like they don't want to schlep up and down these elevators. They have to have the COIs. Like, have you ever moved in a place, people listening that don't live in New York, where you need a certificate of insurance? Like,
also, they don't like to move because there's no space for moving trucks on a street. Like, and especially, oh my God, I almost gave away where I live again. Especially where I live, they're very narrow streets, and they're usually only one-ways. Like, my old apartment was on a one-way. So a moving truck is blocking that whole street, and that is causing so much chaos. So they have to do it in such a fast time frame. So long story short, we just both talked about it. We were like, nothing we own besides like our clothes and pots and pans and some like other sentimental items, we don't like any of our furniture. So we were like, instead of spending thousands of dollars on moving, let's just find a fully furnished apartment. And New York has a large market for fully furnished, which is really awesome. And anyone who's looking, we went through Furnished Quarters. I would recommend them because they're very reliable. Pete was looking at some of the reviews of other places, and they were like, yeah, they didn't clean the apartment at all. It was all messy.
Ew.
But mine was spotless. Like, the video I made, that was for like first time entering that apartment.
wow, that's such a relief though. Like, getting there and like loving it. Like, I feel like this was such a good move by you to just get, also like you and Pete had just moved in together, like you done your first apartment together, so it was like a combination of furniture. So it's like, leave it,
right?
Start new.
And also
totally,
too,
I totally get it.
Like I was talking to Julie about this because she lives in a fully furnished apartment in Austin. I was like, one day Pete and I will live in a house together. And that will be the day where I like buy new furniture and invest in my furniture. But also, I didn't want to buy all this nice furniture because I don't care how good a moving company is. When you move in New York, your furniture gets destroyed. I don't care how much they wrap it. Every single piece of furniture I brought with me somehow had a scratch, a dent, a black scuff in it. And it's not their fault. It's the fault of the elevators are this big. The stairs are this big. It's just dirty. Like, it's not a smart move to move nice things in New York City.
You're reminding me of a story of we had a couch in our first apartment and we only had the stairwell, right? Because a lot of furniture doesn't fit in the elevator, so you have to use the stairwell. And these guys and I remember we had hired TaskRabbits to help the movers, and I'll never forget the TaskRabbit walked off the job. He was like, nope. And I was like, I don't blame you. Like, they were drenched in sweat, and like, I did not blame them. And like, he gave up on the money. Like, I was like, we had you for 5 hours, and like, he was just done. And I was like, I would be done too. Same.
I genuinely have never felt so much pain for people in my life when I watched our movers move. I'm like, the strength, the patience, and the endurance you men must have, because I am sweating just walking up and down the stairs with nothing in my hands.
Yeah. No, it's a different level of moving. It's a logistic. You gotta love it. You gotta love that city, because your logistics there are tough.
Right. So that's a rose. And yes, Pete is moving with me. Everyone's like, did you and Pete break up? I'm like, no, I don't always think about talking about Pete because he's like a person with a real life and job. And like, I'm like, sorry, I don't use Pete's name in every sentence that comes out of my mouth, but we do live together still, and we're doing a slow move because our leases overlap. And today, the men fixing my old apartment were just outside banging on the windows again, and I'm just so grateful I'm in a new apartment. So next week I will be officially moved.
Oh, you're just like, I don't miss it. It was just like a see you later.
Yeah, so I'm very excited, and I live in my first ever doorman building, and I'm so impressed with those men. They've seen me like once and they know my name and which apartment I'm in. And I'm like, that is impressive.
They're the best. It's like, isn't it? It's like so nice, and you feel a little safer and you say hi. It's like the best.
They like hassled me the first time I was in there. They're like, why are you here? And I was like, I love that because now I'm I felt so safe. I was like, no one's just going to get through these doors.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing their job.
And it's like your West Village apartment where they stand at the door. It's not like they have like a desk. So remember how your doorman would like literally like open the door for you? So there was just there's no like just getting in.
Right. There's no one's coming in randomly. Yeah, totally. I totally know what you mean. I love the apartment. I'm really happy for you. I'm glad you have more space. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it all worked out. It's like a bunch of wins. It's a very good rose.
Thank you. Okay. What about, is this a rose? Or
it's a rose. It's a rose it's a weird rose, but okay. it's the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, as Bethany Frankel calls it, the Jake case. And it's like,
I was like, why?
Blake and Justin. Why should I call it that? I thought it was fascinating. She said one side reached out to her to talk about it. Like one side, who I think we know which side, reached out and wanted Bethany to like make an organic video talking about how Blake is right.
You're kidding.
And Bethany was like, no. This is a botched job. It's a botched job from all angles. But my rose of it is the fact that this lawyer like took it personally and made a website and uploaded and filed all the documents in there for the public just to go to. Like the fact that we have this much information at our fingertips for these like high profile people it's fascinating.
Wait, which side did that?
Justin, he has a full website. You can click on there. You can see like text message receipts. He uploaded all the evidence. So now everyone's making these videos being like, Blake, just say you got feelings for the guy. You handled it all wrong and wave the white flag. Just surrender. Because this evidence, like every claim she made, he just completely squashes.
Did you see that she lost the pretrial? Mm-hmm. Can you explain that to me?
Because her dragons, they don't work there. They don't work in the law. She thinks like that these people are gonna, like, I don't know how you think you're above the law. Like, what kind of society do we have if you can't have? It's a lawsuit.
So she lost the pretrial. So is that always? So now will there be a post trial?
The trial's not till March 2026. And now, from what I've read, I think I'm going to be missing some information here. But one, she tried to put another gag order on him. She also doesn't like his lawyer, which, like, correct, because his lawyer is pissed off.
Also, obviously, why would you ever like the opposing team's lawyer?
Yeah, like you're not supposed to like him. And she wanted to have it, like, she wanted to have the case thrown out. And they were like, no, you filed a lawsuit. Like, this is a lawsuit. It has to go to litigation.
You
This is how
started
things
it.
work. You literally started it. And I think she thought he wasn't going to respond. And he just, like, responded with an overwhelming amount of evidence. And, like, it's embarrassing for her.
That is wild. I just like, it's been so interesting to see how this whole case has turned over the course of what? I guess it's probably been since, was June? No, maybe August? It's been like 6 months, I feel like.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's wild. Like, I feel like this is also changing the way cases in the public eye will go forward with like any celebrity. Because like, we know everything.
We know everything. And the reason he kept all the receipts was somebody had warned him, like, that working with her and Ryan is, like, a little muddy and to keep the receipts. But where I'm mad at her is 5 years ago, if you make a sexual assault claim against a guy, if a female makes a sexual assault claim against a guy, they didn't survive those. Like, those were reputation ending, career ending. And in this case, like, she did make that claim against him. If he wasn't strong enough to respond, she would have ended his career. I think his career comes back stronger after this. But this claim she made against him, and she had like a little evidence, you know, if you don't see his response, to where like she could have ended this guy. And it's like, that gives all the other people that make sexual assault claims, like, that makes people question them. It's like not fair to the real people. And it's just like, that's bad business, lady.
Yeah, no, she's hurting more people than she realizes, especially, and it's just very ironic how she did a movie on sexual assault and then she lied about sexual assault while making the movie.
Like, it just seems a little, it's not looking good. You guys, I'm so excited to talk about Quince today because guess what I just packed in my suitcase to go to Whistler, Jordan?
What?
I packed my black cashmere Quince sweater and I wore it last week. Like, I am obsessed with this thing because it is the high quality fashion that we want. Cashmere can be so expensive, but it shouldn't be that way, which is why I'm obsessed with Quince because it's the same quality as everyone else, but it is a fraction of the price. Quince has all the must-have, like Mongolian cashmere crew neck sweaters, the one I'm talking about, from $50, iconic 100% leather jackets, and versatile flow knit activewear. You guys, this brand is like incredible. The best part, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with the top factories, Quince cuts out the middleman and passes on the savings to us. I'm telling you, this cashmere crew neck it's incredible. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/mean for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/mean to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/mean.
Did you see that they announced they're going to come out with A Simple Favor 2, but they're bringing it right to Prime, so it's not even going to go to the theaters. They have a press tour. Her movie with Anna Kendrick.
Wow.
They announced it like
because
2
Anna
days
Kendrick
ago.
doesn't want to do the press tour.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone wants to do the press tour with her. I'm like even shocked they're releasing the movie because of, I mean, if I was Anna, I would be like, I don't want my name even in any headline with Blake. But the people who made the movie are probably like, this is great publicity because we're going to put this movie out and everyone's going to watch it, if from just like a not supporting Blake standpoint, or if some random people do support it, they'll watch it. Like, everyone will be interested to see what this movie looks like.
Yeah. Are you going to watch it?
I feel like I have
Julie's
to.
saying yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to see, like, well, first, I did really like the first movie, but I more want to watch it because I know Anna Kendrick really doesn't like Blake Lively, so I like need to see what their on-camera chemistry looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. And how do we know she doesn't like her?
There's been like multiple things have come out saying that she doesn't, and there's been like interviews clipped and you can just tell she wants nothing to do with her. And she even told someone within her team like she didn't want to do the press tour with Blake because she doesn't like her. She's never like come out publicly and said it, but she's told people on her team, and her team's been like, Anna doesn't want to do this press tour with Blake.
That is so, I mean, and clearly like the fact that they're not doing one.
Right? But I was just shocked to see that. I was like, oh wow, okay. I wonder how much Prime paid for this movie. I'd also be curious to see, like, did they have to pay a lot for it, or did they just like give it away because no one wanted it?
Yeah. Also, like, if I'm Anna Kendrick, I wouldn't feel safe. I'd like not safe in like in a physical way, but I'd be like, what is she gonna do to me? Like anything I say or do, like I'm on edge.
Right.
Like if she's gonna do that to Justin, and like her texts to Justin were so nice. She was like, you're so like he didn't. I'm sure he never saw this coming.
Yeah, no, it's wild. I was just like, damn, Amazon Prime. Okay, I see you. And I think it comes out May 11th, so be interesting.
Oh man, very interesting.
I have a fact for you.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's about germs, and I feel like you will appreciate it because you had your airport fact.
Yeah, what is the germ fact? I was nervous about this.
Okay, so studies show unwashed pillowcases have 17,000 times more bacteria than toilets.
Ew, because of your hair, because of the follicles of your hair and how your hair like collects dirt.
It says, with sweat, oils, and skin cells accumulating over time, these microbes thrive, making regular washing essential for your health. So keep your pillowcases frequently clean. Like, that's gross that it's like all of your own germs, like your own sweat, your own oils, your own skin cells making it dirtier than a toilet seat. 17,000 times.
Like, that is disgusting. The way my mom changed my life forever when she said your skin cells are shedding in your sheets. I was a changed woman. They are washed every week, every 7 days. I could not unhear it.
I'm pretty sure you told me that when we talked about washing our sheets, and because of that, I wash my sheets more regularly than I ever have before.
Because day 8 approaches and I'm getting that and I'm like, I can't.
Pre you in that fact, this is so disgusting, but I would wash my sheets like every couple months because I didn't have a washer and dryer in my unit. Then you told me that fact, and I now wash mine religiously weekly. Like, I have to. Also, I get disgusted going into my bed.
It is so gross. And you think your bed is clean because, like, it looks clean, but it's not. I can't. I'm so glad you told me that fact. I'm happy to know it. I believe it. I, like, totally believe it. They say, too, like, for your skin, even, like, if you get facials and things, right? If you sleep with one side down.
Yeah.
They say, like, the oils that the oils can accumulate and they can get on your face.
Are you a side sleeper or a back sleeper?
I'm an all sleeper. Last night I hit all angles. I was stomach, I was back, I was side, and I was the other side. Because I try to change my sides because they say whichever side, like if you always sleep on your right side, you'll have a little more wrinkles over there. So I try to go back and forth. What about you?
I'm the same way. I sleep on, I always like start on my back and then I go to the left and then I always wake up on my right, which I think evens out my face. But I do know people who like they might have like more acne on one side of their face because it's like that's the side of their face that they sleep on. So that's like the dirtiness that's getting on that pillowcase constantly.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, when you actually think about it, you're on the pillowcase like for sometimes 7-8 hours, and like if your hair's not spotless, like ugh, it's so gross to think about.
Question: do you notice that your skin got, and it's hard because I know like you were married before, so like it's not like you went millions of years without sleeping next to a guy, but did you notice that your skin got like worse when Harrison started sleeping next to you?
Oh, that's a really, really interesting question. So like, does sleeping next to somebody make your skin bad? I didn't notice a difference. Because did you?
I love Pete to death, but like I noticed that when he doesn't sleep in the same room as me, like if he goes on a business trip, I'll wake up and my skin will be better.
Really? From one night?
I think it's just because it's like you're sleeping next to a person that's giving off their own oils, like their breathing. And I also say I have very, very sensitive skin and very dry skin. But yeah, it's like funny because I noticed like if he'll, like when he went on a trip one time and he was gone for like a few days, I was like, I'd wake up and I'd be like, my skin looks so great. And then he would come back and I'd wake up and I'd be like, my skin feels very dry this morning.
Everything is tarnished because you were beside me. And he's like,
And he's so clean. Like he showers before bed and everything. But I think it's just like what we talked about years ago, like boyfriend air. I think it's just their grease.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Totally. He can be as clean as possible. And it's just like what your body puts off, your body puts off.
Yeah. So I just was thinking about that. I was like, yeah, my skin just gets a little more worse when a boy's sleeping next to me, which I don't
You're gonna
love.
have to get used to it. It's your new normal.
Also, speaking of skincare, so last week we talked a lot about skincare, and we had a lot of questions on one of our TikToks about how we love facials more than skincare. So I wanted to ask you if I think we should each give like our 2 outs for skincare and our 2 ins for skincare, like our 2 faves and disfaves.
Okay. And is this skincare products or facials?
I think we should do skincare products, and let's say that, and then let's name our favorite facial maybe at the end.
Okay. Do you have yours?
So I have one in, yeah, I do actually, yeah. Do you want me to go first?
Okay, go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my out is retinol, which we talked about. I've never seen anything. Doesn't do anything for me. Also, my other out is vitamin C, but only because I am allergic to it. So I want people to know if you are someone who all of a sudden started to get acne when they incorporated vitamin C into their skincare, stop using vitamin C because it can cause small like red acne bumps. And that's the only time I've ever struggled with like little acne bumps is when I was using vitamin C, and I would use it because everyone's like vitamin C. So I would use it, and then all of a sudden I would get like little breakouts, and I was like, what the heck? And then with Pete too, he was like, I don't know why my skin has just been so acne prone lately. And I was like, do you use a vitamin C? And he said yes, and he stopped using it and his skin cleared up. So be careful if you are noticing you're getting acne all of a sudden. It could be because of your vitamin C.
That is so funny. I just incorporated vitamin C like 2 weeks ago. I haven't been breaking out because of it. Like, so I think I'm like a good candidate for it, but it's something that I'll keep you posted, but I've just started using it.
You should be good then. Like,
time.
Alex, like, I mean, like, I put it on, I wake up the next day with,
Wow, like instantly.
yeah. So those are my outs, retinol and vitamin C. And then my ins are always sunscreen. I don't think people consider that a skincare. Use your sunscreen. And then I've just been really into a hydrating oil. Like,
Respect.
it doesn't need to necessarily even be an oil. It could be like a hyaluronic milky, like Rhodes Milk Glaze. I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with any type of hydrating liquid.
Yeah, okay. I like that. Those are good.
What about you? What are your ins and outs?
Okay, so my outs are, have you heard of Inner Beauty?
Yes. Is it a brand?
It's a brand, and there is this like, it's a serum, it's a face lotion, it's a primer and like a hydration. Okay, so I got it back when I left my makeup bag because I saw it on like a couple people's lists. It's out for me because it makes you so shiny. I don't think it actually permeates in the skin at all. I think it sits on top. So I've tried it multiple times. That is out for me. The other out for me is washing your face before you wash your hands. I saw this video and my facial girl used to tell me this. No matter how good your skincare is, it doesn't matter if your hands aren't clean. You're just rubbing more dirt on it. So I've started the past 2 weeks washing my hands first. Like that's like as important as what you're spending money on. So that's out for me, is washing your face before you wash your hands.
That is the one time I've always washed my hands.
I went from Barry's the other day and I'll wash my face immediately, and I'm like, I might as well not bother if I don't have really clean hands before I do it. So add that step in. And then my ins are under eye cream is something that I used to not use as much. And after having a baby, like it's one area where I noticed like a few more fine lines, and I think I could have prevented it if I used under eye cream religiously morning and night, and like a strong one. So under eye cream is in for me. And then the other thing that's in for me is the hyaluronic, what's it called? Hyaluronic acid.
Yeah.
That to me is like, I don't know, it's been saving me lately, and I've just been like really patting it in. And so that's my in.
Yeah, that's like kind of like the milk glaze. It has like this hydrating serum. You should try the Rhode Milk Glaze if you like hyaluronic acid. I'm actually like obsessed with Hailey Bieber's Milk Glaze.
Oh wow, really? Okay, that's good. I use the Skin Farm one, and it looks like soapy when it goes on, and I do like it, but I'll try anything once, so I'll try that.
I've heard Skin Farm's a great brand.
I have been loving it. Like my under eye cream it's got caffeine in it, and it's got like peptides and all these things, and I've really been liking it.
Any product with peptides or collagen is great because, like we talked about last week, we lose those a lot over time, like the older we get. So any type of product that has that, you should get.
Totally co-sign. Totally agree. Okay, what's your facial rec? Guys, it's almost Valentine's Day, and it's time to get your gut check in and get your gut right. Enter Cleveland Kitchen, which Jordyn and I have not stopped talking about ever since they sent us a package to try their pickles. We are obsessed. Cleveland Kitchen makes fresh, flavorful, gut-healthy foods like kraut, kimchi, and pickles that are naturally fermented and taste absolutely delicious. Think this package that I have in my fridge. I can picture it now. And there's these kimchi pickles in it. And I take them out. They're like little chips. They're crunchy. They're cold. They're flavorful. I'm obsessed. Jordyn, how are you going to use Cleveland Kitchen this year to right your wrongs and do a gut check unlike what you did last year on Valentine's Day?
Well, instead of eating sweets all night, I will be snacking on Cleveland Kitchen. I also love the pickles. They are so good, and Pete loves them too because he can eat them. And I will be having those all day on Valentine's Day so I can enjoy my night without having a nasty gut. And then the next day, I'll indulge in all my chocolates and then let my gut go back to its bad self.
Your next day I actually don't think you will, because you're going to feel so good when you wake up on the 15th that you're going to not even want to go back to the bad stuff.
That is
You're
true.
gonna be like, I feel great.
Whenever I do have their products, especially pickles, just because I love them so much, I do notice my stomach is just better throughout the day and the days after because of all like the probiotics in it. And they're just so healthy for you. And I love that they taste good.
Well, the best part is, like, if you want a snack, you just go to your fridge and you grab, they're like these perfect snack size pickle packages, and you guys can get them everywhere. Kroger's, Sprouts, Whole Foods, like you name it, they sell them there. And these kimchi pickles are so good. You can get the kraut. You can do whatever you want with them and eat them, and you will feel so good. They're good for your gut health. They're fresh and flavorful. Think fresh, crunchy, and full of flavor. They're easy to use. You literally just tear off the top, eat them, and the convenience factor for a snack is unbelievable. So if you guys are salivating, because I'm salivating now, and you want to make gut health easy and delicious, find Cleveland Kitchen's fresh fermented foods in the refrigerated section of your local grocery store, or have them delivered straight to your door via Instacart. At our Whole Foods, they're across from the egg section, so they might be there at your Whole Foods too. And for our listeners, you guys can get $4 off. Head over to clevelandkitchen.com/podcast, PODCAST. That's clevelandkitchen.com/podcast for $4 off, which $4 off compared to what they cost is a phenomenal deal. So go pick some up, try them, add them to your favorite meal, use them as a snack, and enjoy.
Honestly, I would say the Moxie and BBL. I couldn't pick between them because I got them at the same time, so I'm just loving the results of both. I don't know which one did it better, but I really am happy with the way that it's making my face look. Like I said, I have 2 more to go, so I have my next one next week. Just a reminder, if you're like more redness or skin discoloration prone, BBL. And if you just want to get rid of like texture or pores, then it'd be more Moxie based if you only want one.
Love it. Love it.
What about you?
And mine's the Hydrofacial, tried and true. But I do think I try to get it every 45 days. I started it 4 years ago, and like it changed my skin forever.
I got to get one of those. I've never had one.
I like they got to be medical grade, and they'll tell you they're medical grade on the website, and it sucks out, so she does a dirt suction, and she'll show you afterwards the little container, and it's like your face. Ew. Like it's gross. And then they go back over it, and it injects, and it sucks out and injects in the hyaluronic acid type thing back in, and I just find it to be really hydrating for me. So my skin likes it. Like they work for me.
I think I would love that because I have dry skin, and I feel like anything that's like bringing hyaluronic acid into my skin would be great because that helps restore your moisture barrier. So, sounds amazing to me.
Yeah, I'll try the Moxie. You try the Hydra.
Okay, deal. I love that. Should we get into our topic?
Yeah, I love our topic today.
I know, I'm excited. We're talking about toxic positivity.
And I think one thing that Jordyn and I both struggle with, which is, so it's like we were talking about toxic positivity. One thing we wanted to add to it was like versus genuine support. So like, for example, if a friend reaches out to you with like a problem of some sort, and I would find this in motherhood or in pregnancy, for example, where you reach out and instead of just being like, oh, everything's fine, like, I'm so proud of you, responding with like honesty, even though you think it might hurt their feelings. Or it could be, parallel to like dating when you're like, he's doing XYZ, and instead of being like, oh, you're awesome, like it's his fault, saying like, maybe you were too available, like honest feedback.
Yeah, when we talked about doing toxic positivity, I was like doing a deep dive in it, and I've realized, and it was very eye-opening, that someone who is toxically positive actually might be a worse person or worse friend to you, because it's almost like people use that route as a cop-out to be empathetic towards your feelings. I heard Mel Robbins talk about it, and then I also saw this other TikTok where it was like toxic positivity versus genuine support. And if you were to complain to a friend, a toxic positivity response would be, it could always be worse. But like a genuine supportive comment would be, this sucks, do you want to talk about it? So in these TikToks, people were saying that a lot of people who aren't actually empathetic towards your feelings will use toxic positivity just as like a way to get out of the conversation. And I was like, that is so interesting. And then a lot of times that people have done that to me came to my head. I'm like, that fits the bill.
That is so fascinating. It is a version of toxic positivity to say like, it could always be worse. Like, it's very invalidating.
Very. And like all the examples that this TikTok gave was like, the toxic positivity approaches were like, but look on the bright side. Just keep a positive mindset. There's still so much to be happy about. Don't worry too much. And it's like, no, like just validate my feelings. Let me know that it's okay to be upset and angry, and just ask me if I want to talk about it.
So that goes to what we used to talk about, which was communication styles with friends, and how guys, this is a long time ago episode where we were saying when it comes to communicating with friends, ask them, do you want comfort or solutions? Like, do you want to sit here and just bitch about it? Because we can do that. Or do you want me to like offer up some potential ways that could help you solve this? And then like this added layer that we're talking about right now is if you have honest feedback for somebody, asking them like, I have some, like, do you want my honest feedback or do you just kind of want to vent? And then if they give you permission, and so like if I came to you with like a real problem and I was like, I need you to hit me here honestly. And you could be like, okay, like this, you have permission then to say something that could hurt my feelings because I said be honest.
Yeah. Ever since you taught me that in one of our episodes of Miracle Pod, and I actually love it too, because I feel like that's what we get the most feedback on. Is I remember when you guys talked about comforter solutions. I use that in my daily life, always with Pete. I'll always be like, hey, I just want to complain right now. Don't give me a solution. And then to my friends, I usually phrase it, do you want comfort or do you want just like honest, harsh advice coming from like my heart that I know will help you? And it helps give the other person and yourself like specific expectations, and also allows you to not hurt the person's feelings, because there's nothing worse than when you're complaining to someone and then they start shooting back all these solutions to you, and you're like, I just want you to be an ear, okay?
Yes. And I think that we all have that friend that is the solution shooter immediately. And it's like, I will tell them less, because it's like sometimes you of course could have ways that could help them solve it, but they probably know the way to solve it. They just need to just vent about it on their way there.
Yeah. I pulled Mel Robbins because I know you've been on a Mel Robbins kick lately, and she made a TikTok. This was a while back. Like, this is how long people have been studying toxic positivity, which I like didn't realize until I was looking into it. But she was saying that toxic positivity can actually be very unhealthy because it only puts a Band-Aid on the issue. And if you put a positive spin or a Band-Aid on the issue, it doesn't actually change the things that are going on in your life, and it doesn't actually help you go through those obstacles. Because if I'm like, oh my God, I just lost my job, my boyfriend just broke up with me, and your response is, but look, like, you still have your health, where do I go from there? like, I need you to be like, hey, it's going to be okay. Like, you can talk to me if you want solutions. I can help you find a new job. We can, like, have a weekend where we just, like, get your mental health back on track. Then we can get you on the dating apps. But if you're just like, it's going to be okay, look on the bright side. Like, we're never going to work through these obstacles to fix the actual issues going on in our life.
I'm with you 100% there. And I think that the older, I don't know if you feel this way in terms of like toxic positivity and with friends, but the older I get, the more it becomes about the way I communicate with people and keeping around the friends where, okay, there was this situation that I had. I remember I was like 21 or 22 and someone that I was very close with did something like really messed up. Okay. I'm just like saving him here, but I'm just using I'll just use like a placeholder. Okay. And I remember he was like, but I had talked to X, Y, and Z about it. And like, they told me everything was okay. And I said, why did you talk to X, Y, and Z about it though? Why did you choose them? And he was like, he's like one of my best friends. And I was like, no, because you knew he wouldn't call you out on it. So you went to him and he made you feel better about it. But the reason you chose him was because you knew no matter what you said, he would yes man you and he would have your back. And I think that's a really sneaky form of toxic positivity of somebody that'll say, hey, whoa, that's actually messed up. And like, one area where I really love Harrison is like he will check people no matter what. And it actually makes him a better friend. It's a tougher conversation in the moment, but it's a more valuable friendship.
I love that you said that because when I was younger, I was such a people pleaser where I was that toxic positivity friend just from the standpoint I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So I'd be like, oh, that's okay. Everything's going to be okay. And then the older I got, I started to realize that why I wouldn't want a friend who constantly is just like feeding me this positive truth. I value the friendships that are so real with me and check me. So I started doing that in reverse. And it's just so interesting because you do have those friends that not necessarily don't care, but where I'm like, if I did something bad, I would just go to you because you'd be like, it's okay. Versus like my other friends where I'm like, they will actually make me like gut check myself and be like, why did you do that? That's not okay.
And I think a good way to then do another check is why do I want to go to that friend? Because I know if I just need a soft yes, okay, well, what's happening?
Yeah. And like, if you are that friend, it's okay. We've all been that friend, but try to veer away from that toxic positive friend because it does kind of come off as like you don't really care, you don't really want to listen, you just kind of want to slap a band-aid over it and move on from the situation. So I feel like it will just allow you to be a better friend, a better partner if you remove that toxic positivity trait and you just start asking like the uncomfortable questions.
And on that topic, another area that I was thinking about on this subject was the friend that always tells you everything's good. Great, in fact. So good. And you're trying to have a real conversation. It comes up a lot. It came up with pregnancy. Like, it's why I had such a false view on what it would be like because everyone had always told me it was a beautiful, magical thing when in reality, for me, like, it sucked. And you know how when you ask friends, like, how's it going? They're like, everything is perfect. My relationship is perfect. My hair is perfect. My job is fabulous. And you're like, okay. And it's not that people need to bitch to you all the time. That's not the thing. But it's like, if you can't be real with people and you never have anything worth that has some depth to it, some like real world problem to it, then it's like, you're not who we want to talk to.
That's so true. I love the friends who, like, when you were pregnant, you were like, yeah, I don't feel good. It actually sucks being pregnant because of XYZ. You weren't just complaining. You were being like, no, it sucks because I feel like I'm going to throw up every second or I feel like this. And it was such a breath of fresh air. And I know a lot of people who follow you who are mothers thought the same thing. And I remember when I was dating, people would be like, how's dating? I'd be like, it sucks. Dating is not supposed to be fun. And I couldn't stand the people who'd be like, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. And I just love the friends who are like, let's talk about it. Like, why does it suck? Like, you can bitch about it if you need to. Like, get it off your chest. I'm like, thank you. I need that.
Dating is like a really good example because it's like when you're dating, most of the time you're dating because you want to find somebody. But if you're dating, it means you haven't found them yet.
Yeah.
And so like you're filling a gap. So like, of course it's hard. And to be like, everything will be okay is the toxic positive response.
also too, like if dating was fun, like it just like wouldn't make sense. Like it's supposed to get you to a good thing, and like good things don't come easy. So you're supposed to go through barriers and like not meet your person right away and learn more from it and try new things. And yeah, I just remember being like, no, dating, like I literally hate my life right now. Dating like actually sucks.
Right. And it's like, and then I think the normal response is like, oh, I get it. Like, girl, I hope you find him. I really do. Like, how are the dates going? You know, not just like everything will be okay. It all works out. You'll find him when you're not looking, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, it just sucks.
I know, same with like the people I follow online. I've had to unfollow a few people over the years who are just like, life is great. I love life. Everything comes easy to me. La, 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 la. I never complain. La, la, la. And I was like, you're toxic to me. I can't. You're bad for my mental health because you never have any problems. And to me, that's not real. And I can't follow you because you not having any problems in your life is actually making me feel worse about mine. And therefore, I need to remove you from the people I follow.
Yeah, but I'm really glad though that we've gotten to that place, because I think the trend 2-3 years ago was like everyone was comparing ourselves to them, and then I think we realized like that's not reality, that's not fulfilling, this is like some facade we're all putting on. So now I feel like realism is back.
Yes, I would totally agree. Like that cookie cutter perfect influencer-esque like person is kind of gone, and like the real raw like unrelatable or more relatable person is more of a followed person now. Like I know a lot of people are like, I don't like following just like the rich girls. I want to follow someone who goes to a 9 to 5, has like struggles, so I can relate to them more. And I'm like, I love that.
Yeah, the perfect aesthetic is like out.
Yes, it's just toxic.
Yeah,
it's all toxic.
I guess in like on the theme of updating our ins and outs of skincare and things like that, I think like one thing we're saying that's in is like honesty and being real, and what's out is like the perfect facade.
Yes. And I know we did talk about not being that complaining friend a while back, but like there's a big difference between being honest and being like the negative friend. Like the negative friend is someone who rains on your parade no matter what you say. You could say it's a beautiful day out and they go, but you know, we might get sunburned because the sun is out today. Like big difference. So it's like it's okay to complain, but just like no, there's balance with everything.
I love calling somebody and saying, how are you? And them saying, I'm okay. You know, like I'm okay, but I don't know. I'm having a really hard time at work and I'm struggling, but I'm okay. But it's like, okay, so I'm thinking of you. That's a really real response. And it's like we can talk about it and it helps you get to know them better. Like you deepen your connection. So I do agree. There's a difference between constantly complaining and like everything is doom and gloom versus like, no, this is an area where I want to improve and like something's not going well.
Yeah. So everyone needs to just knock off the toxic positivity, okay?
Yeah. I like that conversation though. I think it's really good. Like I think we gave people a lot of good things to think about that like we're also thinking about.
Yeah, and if you don't know where to start, I think you could start with what we said. You could ask people, hey, do you want comfort or solutions? Or even like, hey, do you want some tough love? Or do you just want like a la 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 answer?
Right. A passive, yeah. But all are good. It's actually really nice to have that upfront conversation. Then you know how to show up for somebody. It removes the anxiety on all sides. If you texted me and you're like, hey, I'm literally looking to vent, I'm like, great, let it rain.
Right?
I'll vent with you. I'll get in the trenches with you versus like, hey, I need a solution here. I'm like, okay.
I think I ask like whenever my friends come to me for any type of like conflict they're dealing with, I truly can't remember a time where I haven't asked them like, hey, do you want me to like listen and come up with solutions for you? Or do you just want to like talk shit and like vent to me? And I won't say a word.
Yeah.
I'll just listen.
Totally. Exactly. It's like so useful.
Yeah. So if you're having a hard time, definitely start with just the simple questions. Should we go into our listener? Listener question.
Okay, I love it. Okay. Hey ladies, looking for some dating advice. I've been single for almost 2 years now. My last relationship / breakup was a bit complicated, but I'm finally starting to put myself back out there and try online dating. A guy asked to take me out for a drink, but I don't really drink much anymore. I don't enjoy it like I used to, and I'm also dealing with some stomach issue that I've been trying to figure out. Alcohol usually makes them worse. Should I just go for one drink since one drink can't hurt, or should I suggest something else? Please help.
I love this question.
As do I.
I think that you should definitely be upfront and honest. And I think it's totally okay to go out and get a mocktail. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that you should maybe offer up something else and let him know you don't drink so he has that expectation. Because the last thing you want to do is go out with this guy. You have an incredible time, and then his favorite activity in the world is drinking, getting blackout. Like, give him the expectation from the top.
I could not agree more. I think drinking is this one blind spot for everybody in society. Like, if somebody asked me to go on a run, but I had a broken foot, I wouldn't be like, should I just power through the run? But my foot's broken. It's like, no. And I guarantee you there's a million other things you could do. You just wouldn't go. Like, running's not for you right now. It doesn't serve you. Your stomach hurts. Like, don't do it. And so I think if you just offer up, like, I'm not drinking right now, he'll be like, if he can't adjust out of that, that's really good for you to know, because that'll be somebody to have a hard relationship with.
Yeah, and I think coffee and breakfast dates are so fun. They're so in. I remember when I was dating, some of my favorite dates that I can think of were the coffee and the breakfast dates. You think they'd be more uncomfortable because there's no alcohol involved, but they actually were more relaxed.
Like, without a doubt. And I think that you could also go on a walk. There's so many things. There's so many other things. But I think as a society, especially when you're younger and you're dating, like, going on a drink is like the obvious thing to do, but it doesn't have to be that way. Like, we really need to get better at expanding, like, what we do.
Yeah, and I think it's very important, like you said, to be upfront about your drinking habits, because I will be honest, I wouldn't be able to date a sober person because I look at wine as an activity, and I want my future partner to want to drink wine with me and experience it and travel the world and drink wine. But also, like, Pete doesn't drink a ton, and there's plenty of occasions where we go out to dinner and I'll have a glass of wine and he won't. And that's okay, because I'm not looking for a partner who's, like, drinking socially. I'm looking for someone who just wants to, like, enjoy, like, wine with me. So it's just, I think it's so important. And, like, your ex didn't drink at all. Like, it was like,
so he would he wouldn't go get a drink, like, you don't have to go at 6 p.m. because that's when people, like, it's approved to drink. It's like, you could go at 5 on a walk. Like, there's so many other things to do. So I think you should totally own it. It's so cool.
Yeah, I think so too. And then also like you said, if he has a problem with that, he's not your guy.
Totally agree. Completely agree.
Okay. Should we get into our recs?
Yes, I'm excited about mine. Mine's, like, different this week. But you go first.
This is, like, becoming one of my favorite segments. I love talking about things
Same.
that we like. Okay, so I have a TV show, and it's been on. So it's new this year, but it's been running the first season for a couple months now. It's about to end. There's, like, 2 more episodes, but I don't know why I've never talked about it. But have you heard of the show High Potential on Hulu?
No.
So it's about.
I don't think.
It's like the LAPD, and this girl, she's a janitor for them, but she's, like, a genius. Like, everything she sees and reads, she remembers, like, Rain Man type of smart. And she joins their team and starts helping them solve cases. So it's like LAPD crime times comedy, and I love it.
Okay, that sounds like I will probably watch it. I meant to tell you at the beginning I started On Call, and I love it.
Okay, I was literally going to ask you. I was like, I swear to God, if you haven't watched On Call yet, I'm going to be so mad at you.
I'm watching it. I'm absolutely loving it. It is so good. It's so good.
Yay. Because I forgot, you never saw Pretty Little Liars, right?
No, or did I?
Like, the main
Who's in
girl.
that? Which one is that one?
The main girl.
What?
She was one of the girls in it.
Okay. Is that
Spencer from Pretty Little Liars.
Okay, so I watched a couple episodes of that, and as I was watching it, I was like, I know her from somewhere, but I, like, didn't bother looking up where. But no, I never could get into Pretty Little Liars. Like, I didn't watch it enough. But
Okay.
I knew her. That's where.
I'm so glad you like that show. It's also a show I never really thought I would like a show without romance, and both of these shows are, like, crime comedies without romance.
Hey, they're really good. Like, it's just, like, whenever I'm sitting in there feeding, I just, like, rifle through them. They're, like, that perfect kind of TV.
Also, February, we have some really, really good shows approaching us. So I'm pumped.
Really? What do we have?
Do you watch White Lotus?
No.
Alex.
Should I watch it?
Are you
I
kidding
don't even know if I
me?
would like it.
Oh my God. Does Harrison not watch it then?
He could have watched it. He's a show watcher like you. Like, he has watched a lot of shows.
Alex Bennett, I'm actually like mad at you because that's one of the best shows of all time.
Okay, maybe I'll start it. How behind am I?
So the third season comes out on like the 16th.
Oh, I can do 2 seasons. I can easily catch that up.
And each season is a new cast of people, except like 1 or 2 people. So you don't like it's. You could easily start with season 3 and not watch season 1 or 2. It's not like in order.
Oh, then maybe I just start up.
You could, but I will say like season 1 is incredible. It has like Sydney Sweeney in it before she was just on the verge of like blowing up. But, the wife from Friday Night Lights is in it. She's the main girl.
Oh my God, I love her because you know what she was. Do you know why I love her? Who was the crazy guy in Orange County? She played the wife.
Oh, in Dallas or Nashville? No, that's Nashville.
No. And he was a crazy man, and he ended up killing himself. She ended up having to kill him. It was a true story.
Oh my God,
is her name Colleen?
Johnny John or something?
Yes, Colleen.
Dear
His
John.
name was John. Dear John, yes.
Yes.
Right?
Not the romance, but it was the serial killer.
Yes. Hold on. Dear John TV show. Well, no, it wasn't. That's not quite it. That's going to drive me crazy.
I'll find it. I have IMDb on my phone. Her name's Bonnie. What's her first name? Oh, Connie. Connie, not Bonnie.
Yes,
no,
Connie. Connie Britton.
She was also in Nashville, which I feel like you would like that show.
Dirty John.
Dirty John, yes.
Yes, she was in that. That's him. That's the show. That was a great show. That was crazy because it was real.
So yeah, first season of White Lotus, she was like the main girl. Alex, if I had to give you any recommendation in the world and I only could give you one, it would be White Lotus.
Really?
Yes, it is a classic.
Okay.
Best TV of all time.
All right, I'm going to try it. I'll try it. I've got a plane ride ahead of me, so I'll try it.
And then the other show that you'll be so excited about is Running Point with Kate Hudson, February 27th.
Oh, yes, that I'm very excited about. That one I'm very excited about, yes.
So, and then there's like other ones too, but those are like the 2 main ones where I'm like on the edge of my seat, ready to watch.
Okay, I love that.
Okay, what's yours?
Okay, mine's a journal prompt, and I've been doing it every day, but it's asked because it shows you a lot of blind spots and like areas that you can do things better. But ask yourself every day, how would you do something, whether it's your job, whether it's a hobby, but an area that you want to do better, and how would you do it if somebody was paying you $1 million? And you just write that at the top. So you say, how would you do XYZ if somebody was paying you $1 million? And it's like you would do it to the best of your ability. Like you would max out in every area and you would give it all you had if you were being paid $1 million for it, right? And so when you do it that way, it's a really good way to like motivate yourself.
I love that. That is such a good journal prompt. I'm going to do that tomorrow when I journal. Because sometimes I'm like, what do I journal about today? I love a good prompt.
I've been struggling with journaling too, and I always try to fill 2 pages, and I've just been like, you can fill it with whatever. But now I'm like, what would you do if somebody gave you $1 million to do this job? How would you do it? What all would you do? What exactly would you do? So I think that's a good little journal prompt to try.
Oh, I love that. That's a great one. Okay, awesome. If you need any other show recommendations for your long flight, let me know because I will.
But I'll be busy with my White Lotus. But I'm not done with On Call yet, so that's what I was gonna watch. So I've got so many.
Okay, finish On Call and then White Lotus season 1 and season 2, and then by the time
then High
Potential, yes.
So I've got them all. I love the name High Potential. Like now that you explained what's happening, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it.
You have a lot of work to do. Okay.
I'm so busy with my TV shows.
Oh, I love it. Okay, guys. Well, we love you so much, and keep DMing us your listener questions. Am I the asshole? Any other type of stories? Because we love hearing them.
Yeah, we do. Love you guys.
Bye.
Okay, that's it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening to Mean Girl Pod, powered by Just Media House. I'm Alex Bennett.
And I'm Jordyn Woodruff. So, AB, do what you do best.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. We are at Mean Girl Pod on all platforms. Stay connected with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat at Mean Girl Pod. Podcast and social artwork and post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Mean Girl Pod performed by Sergi Asbel. Mean Girl Pod, we're your besties in your ear. New episodes every Monday.